yo, everybody. Welcome to Everyday Celebrity Media News. This is our launch. This is our first show. This is where we talk about, I'm saying, shit that's going on in the Bay Area that local news don't care about. And since this is election night, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Jordan Awandi.
Hello. Hello,
My,
I'm Zola, y'all.
My name is Jordan Owani, the CEO of Everyday Celebrity Media Company, the host of the number one podcast in the Bay Area, Everyday Celebrity Podcast, and my lovely co-host.
Is Zola Young, and we'll be talking about election night and how it's still going on, and many other things, weird things in the Bay Area, as Jordan just pointed out, and tons of other fun stuff. So stick around.
So, since this is election night, we're gonna talk about some issues that's regarding Trump. You know, Trump is on the verge of losing.
Yes, he is. He's on the verge of losing. It's a great thing. But now he has multiple lawsuits, of course,
Uh huh.
in different states. He's just gonna try and say that mail in ballots are invalid, which has been his argument since day one. I mean, I think since he won the election, he said that the election was going to be compromised the next
Hmm.
time around. So he's been planning this, but Biden's winning.
Can you give us a rundown on the status?
On the status,
Yeah. Like, can
well,
you look up who's winning right now? I mean, I know Biden is winning, but can you?
Biden's winning. He's winning by, let's see, what are the exact electoral college votes? It looks like Joe Biden is, oh my God, he's got 264 electoral college votes. Donald Trump has 214. Last time I checked, like this morning, he had Donald Trump had 213. You need 270 to win. So I mean, the numbers are in. Joe Biden doesn't need any other states. He's won.
So we're basically waiting on Nevada, basically.
Nevada, we're waiting on Pennsylvania.
Well, he's not going to win Pennsylvania.
It's showing that it's leading red. He has three here. North Carolina and Georgia, I think.
Well, for everyone, this is an interactive show. This is an interactive. This is a news, but it's also interactive. So, you know what I'm saying? This is the number where you guys can call in if you wanna vent, if you want to talk about the election. You know what I'm saying? You see the number on the top. So call in, give us your perspective on the election. And
Eh,
if you're not a pussy, tell us who you voted for. You know what I'm saying? We take that too. You see the number on the top. So, but now for our first story, we're going to talk about something that is on everybody's minds in the Bay Area, which is housing. And my co-host did her due diligence, and
I came up with.
she has a story that she wants to tell the world about.
Basically, there's a housing crisis everywhere in California. It's really expensive to live here. In Oakland, there's certain apartments that are owned by a development company and a financial investment firm called Madison Park Financial. I've heard that it is a shell within a shell within a shell, which sounds very shady to me. Um, I've also seen some other articles on this on Madison Park Financial. But I talked to Anne Marie, who is leading the rental strike against Madison Park, and she is working with Tank, which is Tenants and Neighborhood Council. She's also working with the Madison Park Tenants Council, and basically they have made some real headway, legal wise. Basically, she, was able to have, set certain precedent. She set a precedent that that tenants were being harassed. Harassment has been defined, so the property manager and Madison Park Financial, they're not going to be able to harass their tenants anymore for money or for other purposes, or do the kinds of things that people do when they try to evict somebody. Just unclean, unhealthy living conditions, which I've also heard about. Also, presenting false facts. It's another illegal thing that Madison Park Financial has been doing to its tenants. It'll send its tenants letters and bills saying that there's been partial forgiveness and full forgiveness of of people's rent, and Madison Park Financial is telling people that if they pay a certain amount now, that'll help them in the future, and this and that way. And basically it's all made up. They're not within the confines of the law, the facts that they're presenting to their tenants. So the court defined false facts in this circumstance, and and also fined Madison Park Financial firm and the investment firm and developers. And I really doubt that. I have no doubt that Anne Marie will be able to set precedent in the future and make it so that the court is able to define other wrongdoings that are done by Madison Park Financial. So there's one rental strike going on, but there's many others, I'm sure. So if you want to call in, please call in and let us know your story. It's very important for everyone to know and for your story to be heard. But that's the latest news on rental strikes here. So, with that said, we can move on to different propositions in California. We have some propositions. A lot of people are sad that that Prop 15, it looks like it's been declined, that people said no to Prop 15. This would have increased funding sources for public schools, community colleges, and local government services by charging tax assessment of commercial and industrial property. And basically it would have, they would have been getting a lot, like, in the billions, like 11.5 billion in new funding to local governments. A lot of people are really sad that this proposition did not pass. And I can understand why. I mean, I think that our infrastructure is falling apart in a lot of ways. Our education system now than ever needs to be updated. We need to have, a more high tech, education system, and we need to have those kinds of products and services available to our public schools so that kids can, succeed and excel online. Because it's really, I have a friend who's a teacher, and hopefully she'll come on sometime on one of these nights. And she says that it's really hard to grade students when most of them don't even know how Zoom works. So Prop 15 was a big one. Also, Prop 16, another one that a lot of people are sad about that it did not get passed. It would be rolling back, basically. It would be rolling back a proposition that was made in 1996, where you cannot employ people based on. Oh, we're getting a call.
We have our first caller here.
Woo!
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
Can't wait to hear it.
Hello? Hello?
Hi,
Who is this?
this is Alessandra calling from Oakland.
Hold on, Alessandra. Let me get your let me get your audio correct. Hold on.
Thank you, Alessandra, for calling. This is awesome. We have our first caller on the first day that we're doing this. Looks like we're doing good. Woo!
Start with the woos, okay?
Okay.
Jesus. All right, we'll figure out this audio thing in a minute. Alessandra, what would you like to comment on?
Yeah, I just want to say I think it's great you guys are doing this. So far, you've covered some really important topics. As far as the rental strikes go, that's really interesting. I think it's important to raise awareness around what other people are doing and get rid of the stigma around it. You know, I have a friend who is on a rental strike who I will let remain anonymous, but I know that they've been very secretive about it, and I feel like if this is something that we can come out in the open about and talk about more openly, I think we might be surprised of how many of our fellow neighbors have been striking since March.
The Bay Area is changing a lot right now, and I feel like renters have more power than ever. So it's really important that we stand up for our rights and, advocate for affordable housing. The homeless population here in the Bay Area is absolutely out of control, and it's about time we do something about it.
I completely agree. And I remember that there was something on the ballot, I think, last year. And I thought, that it said there would be billions of dollars going towards new housing. And I haven't really seen a difference, but I'm hoping that something will happen soon. But I think that you're completely right, and that we do need to raise awareness, and that people should not feel ashamed. They should not be feeling any shame at all if they're going on a rental strike. There is an eviction moratorium. It is your right to not have to pay rent during this financial crisis.
Right, and equally so, it's like where the support for the homeowners? It's like where's the mortgage moratorium?
Exactly.
With the banks and I know someone who is a developer here in the Bay Area, and they shared some interesting facts with me about how whenever they build a condominium complex, each unit gets something like $30,000 of tax money, like that they have to pay to the state that's supposed to go to low-income housing. And if you think about it, for every unit that's being built here in the Bay Area, that's a lot of money that should be going towards low-income housing. And I just don't see that happening. Where is all the money going?
That's insane. I did not know that. So they're getting paid to build, condos that rich people are going to buy, and that's where the money that's out of the taxpayers' pocket. Basically.
What's your name again?
My name's Alessandra.
Where do you live?
I'm in Oakland right now.
What's the building you live in?
It's a house.
Oh, you live in a house. Okay. You own the house?
No, I wish. Just renting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, But I've been in the Bay Area my whole life and been through multiple evictions. Um,
Oh,
you
you've been
know,
you've
and
been evicted multiple times?
yes, my family and I were evicted when I was 14 and when I was 18. Both of which were illegal. You know, the first one, the landlord tried to do some pretty illegal moves to get us out, and then the second one, Chase Bank, pulled a bunch of really illegal moves. So I've definitely seen my fair share of the struggle to stay here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, there's a huge struggle, and I think that a lot of people in San Francisco have had to move away into different counties and different areas because they can't keep up with the rent. And yeah, I mean, as you just said, these, whether it's, landlords that have a lot of money and they have, a lot of buildings, or if it's, big developers. I'm not necessarily talking about homeowners who rent out, a small portion of their house to help with their own mortgage. I'm talking about big developers and landlords here who have multiple buildings usually, and they will use false facts to to get you out. They will lie, and they will threaten you with false facts.
All right, Alexandra. What's your let's move on. What's your take on the election right now? That's the hot topic for tonight.
Right. Well, anybody but Trump, I guess, is the thing. Joe Biden's not my ideal candidate. I've been a Bernie bro since day one, but
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Joe Biden because, that's the thing to do so that Trump doesn't win.
Okay.
Fingers crossed,
All right. All right. Well, cool. Well, thanks for calling. Thanks for supporting.
Yeah.
And yeah, look for us every we go be live every Wednesday at 8. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you so much, Alessandra. That was great.
Thank you.
thank you. All right. So back to what the hot topics are.
Hot topics, hot button issues. Let's see. I think that's what they're called. Hot button issues. What are some of the hot topic issues that you've been hearing about?
So there was a story. There was a story in Oakland. A woman in not in Oakland. It was in San Jose actually. She had spinal. She had spinal. I know. I think she got like a spinal issue. She was like twerking. She was at a party, and then when you twerk and you like pop your back, and so she hit a nerve, and now she's like paralyzed.
Wait, from Halloween?
She's paralyzed from the waist down. Yes, it's happening in Halloween.
Oh my, that's possible?
Yeah, so I don't know. So she was twerking.
Oh my,
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, my heart goes out to this woman.
She was twerking, and she was twerking so profusely that she hit a nerve in her spinal cord, and she got rushed to the hospital, and now she's paralyzed from the waist down. Now this is a story for all you women out there who think twerking, like you need to twerk. Because if you go on Instagram, all these women just seem like they need to twerk and twerk and twerk. Twerking is the new thing. But twerking can be dangerous at times.
Apparently so. Aggressive twerking can be very dangerous.
Watch out for your twerking. Watch out for your twerking.
Oh man.
Now this is the segment, this is the sports segment, so we're gonna tap in with our sports. We have a sports report, obviously. This is a real news show, you know what I'm saying? We have sports, weather, and a bunch of other shit. So we're gonna tap in with our sports reporter named Ron Freed. Ron Freed, if you're listening, we're going to tap in with him. And we're waiting on, hold on, let me see. Bear with us, guys. This is our first show.
It's going to be a great news segment. I mean, sports news segment. Because he'll have all the great hot tips on what's going on.
Can you hear that? I mean, I'm asking you, like, you fucking.
Yo,
Oops.
live and in the building. How we doing tonight?
So we have Ron. Hold on, wait a minute.
Get it right.
Let me get it right. This is the sports. This is the sports section with Ron Freed, everybody. And he is going to talk about what's going on in sports, in the sports world. So, Ron, what do you have for us?
I think the biggest thing going on in the sports world is the same thing that's the biggest thing going on in the world right now. Is this
Fix your
COVID
camera,
crap,
nigga.
man.
We can't see your face fully.
I got my camera on. What we doing? You can't see
Yeah,
my
all right,
face. I
boom,
need to
yeah,
be
there you
closer.
go. There you go.
Is that better for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's going on in sports right now is the same thing that's going on in the world, and that's this COVID movement. I feel like it's clouding sports as a whole. We've seen it in every sport, which any championship won in 2020 should come with an asterisk because there's so much BS associated with it due to COVID and due to a lot of lack of businesses shutting down. But mainly, like in basketball, you had a lot of players sit out for safety reasons. So I felt like it made the playoffs kind of unbalanced, and just the whole setup of having like the bubble. It was strange to me. I'm not mad that they tried to make a season happen, but if you look at the way it shook out, it just wasn't a good fit. In baseball, you got Justin Turner for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who was, I guess he had a positive test during the middle of the World Series game. He was pulled from the game, but like an hour after the game, he was seen celebrating with his teammates, which is like, I don't know, if you really believe in COVID, then you got to kind of feel like that's kind of dangerous. If you don't care about COVID and don't think it's real, then you must not care that he did that. But like, it's just, I guess, a major no-no on the direct scene for what people are complaining about. Yeah, I had some good topics though, like not to get off track from the sports, but the hot button topics were pretty dope. I know some people that are dealing with rent strikes.
All right, nigga,
but
we're
I
talking
also
about
know
sports right now. We don't.
I totally get that. I didn't want to sidetrack. The hot button topics were so hot I had to touch in on them. But yeah, man, what do you think about especially like the Lakers championship being phony? I know everybody wanted to rush to get LeBron a championship.
I mean,
after he got treated so badly by the
phony, but
Warriors.
is that diamond ring that he's about to get on when the season starts phony?
I mean, have you ever seen a team win a championship after having a 4-month layoff and coming back with all their players fresh? You ever saw anything like that?
Have we ever been in COVID before? So
we haven't, and that's exactly why it should have an asterisk, because we never had this BS before.
So
Thank
if
you for proving
COVID
my
never
point right
happened, this is the sports reporter that I'm talking to. Excuse me, I got a sweaty face. But if COVID never happened, who do you think would have won the championship? Do you think we would have had a different result?
I think the Clippers would have won, and I also think Boston would have had a better chance in the East. I feel like the layoff kind of like threw off a bunch of teams.
But don't you think that since there was no home court, everyone's on an equal playing field, and the best team won?
I felt like for what the situation was, the best team won, but I don't feel like all the teams were fully equipped to be in the bubble to begin with. You had some teams that didn't even want to be a part of it, like the Clippers, who blew a 3-1 lead, by the way. Kawhi Leonard, what happened? Oh, my God, that was terrible.
I mean, that's Doc
but
Rivers'
anyway.
fault. He should have been got fired.
Probably
the only coach to lose multiple times with having a 3-1 lead. Should have been fired.
He's lost it 3 times. I think the first time he did it with Orlando with T-Mac versus Milwaukee Bucks, I believe, in 2001 when he was the coach of the Orlando Magic and they had a 3-1 lead. 2015, he did it to the Rockets, and then obviously this season as well. Doc Rivers to me is a lame duck coach, and he only has one championship to show for the most overrated championship. Well, it's tied for it's like 1A and 1B with the Detroit Pistons. Their one championship as well. They act like those championships has so much value, but they only won one championship. Then they got their ass kicked every year after that. So I don't respect it. But yeah, man, asterisk on everything, especially on LeBron James. In the Bay Area, we put an asterisk on everything LeBron James do. It just is what it is. It's not personal. It's just business.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen in the Facebook world, the sports reporter for Everyday Celebrity Media News, can you say you are a LeBron hater? Can you tell the people?
I'm for sure not a LeBron hater. I respect his accomplishments, but I also have I've been watching basketball for a really long time. I've seen a lot of great players come and go, and while I do think he is a great player and great talent, I think there's aspects of his game that keep me from seeing him as the best player. But am I a hater? No. Do I agree with all of his moves? No. I think he push-offs a lot. I think he cries to the ref a lot for being like as great of a player as he is. I've never seen a player to be in a GOAT conversation or even like in a top 5 conversation flop as much as LeBron James. So, no, I'm not a LeBron James hater. I'm just not a fan of some of his tactics and some of the ways he goes about the game of basketball.
So is it safe to say that Michael Jordan is the real GOAT to you?
Oh, it's unequivocally, like there's no doubt about it. Just what MJ brought to the table, like the accolades that LeBron James is going to have over Michael Jordan, obviously is probably like the points, the rebounds, assists, all that's great, but some of that is tied into longevity. But when you think about just Michael Jordan when it's go time, and a lot of people like to bring up what Michael Jordan lost during this era before Scottie Pippen and whatnot. But you got to think about this. All LeBron fans talk about how LeBron never has enough help. LeBron had been the number 1 seed and choked in the playoffs, and his fans will tell you he didn't have enough help. But when Jordan was playing with dudes like Orlando Woolridge and a bunch of other dudes you can't even name that was like snorting hella coke in the 80s.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Nah, ain't no allegedly. Orlando Woolridge.
Allegedly, Everyday Celebrity Media says allegedly.
Nah, it's Googleable. Like
no, don't put that smut on. Don't put that smut on Michael Jordan's name. Allegedly.
No, not Michael Jordan. I'm putting that smut on Orlando Woolridge's name. I said he was playing with guys doing drugs. Yeah.
All right, so what about football? Do you have any football news? It's football season going on right now.
Football season is also getting hit with the COVID bug. Like teams are shutting down their facilities. The Raiders, like 2 weeks ago, almost had their whole starting offensive line not be able to play because of a COVID scare. They did have one offensive lineman have to sit out as well as a couple of defensive players. This week, the 49ers play tomorrow night against the Green Bay Packers. And in a situation, they had one of their wide receivers contracted COVID. And so as a result, 2 of the other wide receivers came in contact with him as well as an offensive lineman. So they will not be eligible to play in tomorrow's game. So now the 49ers are even more handicapped with players to fill their roster spots for the game tomorrow. The 49ers are one of the most injured teams, and now COVID is ripping through their team. And this is making it really difficult for me to really respect this football season because it's happening to multiple teams. Another reason why the NBA championship, the Major League Baseball championship, and the Super Bowl should all have an asterisk on it because there's so much BS tied into like teams getting to the championship. It's going to be crazy. You could potentially win a championship because somebody has COVID, one player, and 3 other players can't play 2 to 3 games, and that could affect the championship run. How could that be good for any sport?
Do you have any news on the Raiders? What's going on with the Raiders?
I do have news on the Raiders. It's crazy to see them play this much better. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this season just because of the shakedown in other divisions with the wild card spot and being in the same division with the Chiefs. But I do see the Raiders making big moves. Next season, I see the Raiders being a playoff team, potentially a Super Bowl contender if healthy. When teams move to new arenas, it makes perfect sense for the NFL and the powers that be to want to see those teams win. A la the LA Rams when they first got their new stadium in Los Angeles. They were in the Super Bowl the following season. And I see the same thing happening for the Raiders in a couple of years.
All right. Well, that was the sports rundown with Ron Mac. Ron, make sure you see his Instagram right here. Make sure you follow him and follow us every Wednesday to hear the sports rundown by Mac Ron Freed. You know what I'm saying? Anything?
Destroy my name. I appreciate it. Nah, it's been real everyday celebrity media, man. I'm out of here, man. Thanks for having me. See you guys next week.
All right. That was Mac Ron. All right, so let's continue. This is the segment where we do the Yahoo. This is called the Yahoo Sports. I mean, not the Yahoo Sports. This is called the Yahoo Rundown. And this is where basically we go on Yahoo and we look at the titles and we talk about what's going on Yahoo. So Zola, you have anything?
Do I have anything?
You have anything to say? No, do you have anything to say, period?
To say period? Well, actually, yes, I do. I wanted to mention Prop 22 that it passed.
Okay.
Because there was another election thing, I know. But it's interesting because that was the Lyft and Uber driver issue, hot button issue. Wait. Benefits.
We have another caller. Hello? Hello?
Hey, this is Fred.
Fred?
Yeah.
Fred, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
All right, Fred. What do you want to speak on? What do you got to get off your chest?
Kenny West. Kenny West has some votes going on in Idaho, Colorado, and Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Minnesota. So I'm very interested to know what do you think about Kenny West?
About what?
About Kenny West. Kenny West.
About Kenningway?
Yeah.
Kenningway? Who the fuck is Kenningway?
Kenny West.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Kanye West.
What are you, from France?
Yeah, I'm from France, but from San Francisco.
Okay. What do I think about Kanye West?
Yeah, he got 50,000 votes.
They're counting all the counts. You know, they're redoing a count. Arkansas, Colorado, Minnesota, Tennessee. He has 10,000 votes in Tennessee.
I mean, I'm just a reporter, man. What do you think about Kanye West?
Yeah.
What's your view on it?
I don't know. I'd like to know if he's gonna win.
I really don't think he is.
No, Kanye West has no chance of winning shit. No.
No, but he has 4,000 counts in Arkansas. How many people there is in Arkansas?
No, man. Kanye West is out of the game. Joe Biden is about to win as soon as they announce Nevada.
What about Tennessee? 10,216 people voted for him.
No, it doesn't matter. Like I said, Joe Biden is about to win. Joe Biden only needs, I think, 6 more points.
Well, I think that those people are going to be very disappointed.
But
those 50,000 people who voted for Kanye West. Sadly, well, not so sadly, I don't think Kanye West is not going to be winning this election. And hopefully no election in the future.
First of all, when did you come to San Francisco? What part of France are you from?
I'm north of Paris.
You're from north of Paris?
Yeah.
And why did you come to San Francisco?
I don't know.
You was running from the law?
Oh yeah.
You were.
Yeah. But listen, Mississippi 3,000 votes. You get Minnesota 7,847 votes. I mean, I think the votes need to be recorded.
In Mississippi
Mississippi, 3,319 votes.
for Kanye West.
Well, yeah,
Have you been watching the news?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I didn't open.
Mississippi is already finished, man. It went to Trump. Trump won Mississippi. Kanye West is out of the picture.
I'm sad.
You're sad. You voted for Kanye West?
Well, yeah, I voted for Kanye West, but anyway, that's okay. I mean, you know, I see a Colorado vote is 6,536. Colorado. I mean, you know, those people, you know, I mean, well, anyway, can you tell me what you think about Kanye West?
I think he's a musical genius, but other than that, he's an idiot.
Oh, you're bad. You're bad. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
All right. Thanks for calling. Man,
Okay, well, we got
I don't know what the fuck he want. He was totally misinformed. This motherfucker talking about 3,000 votes. These people getting millions and millions of votes. Dumbass.
Kanye West. Yeah, well, you know, some Kanye West enthusiasts. That might have been a prank call. Not sure.
Right. Well, we'll put the number up again. We want all calls. We want all people to call. You know what I'm saying?
We do
Call
want
in.
all people to call.
The number is right there at the top of the screen. Call in and voice your opinion. You got something to get off your chest. You know what I'm saying,
Whether
but this what?
Whether it's, you know, you're vouching for Kanye West or whether you're vouching, you know, for the eviction moratorium and for rental strikes, we want to hear it all perspectives. So don't be shy.
Yes, the main topic for today is the election, but the main story is housing. Should people have to pay rent during these times? So call in and voice your opinion. But now we're going to get into
Prop 22?
what?
Prop 22?
Did you talk about Prop 22 already?
No, I was getting into it. Then we got a call.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so
Speaking
it's been on everybody's minds, and that's Prop 22. Basically, that's for Uber and Lyft drivers. And so I take a lot of Lyfts, and I wanted to do my research. So every single time I got into a Lyft, I would ask my driver, what do you think? Do you want Prop 22, yes on Prop 22, or no on Prop 22? Of course, Lyft and Uber had a lot of propaganda saying that all their drivers wanted yes on Prop 22. Now, you know, I think everyone, the consensus was yes. People voted for Prop 22, which allows all the different transportation, you know, contracted worker transportation companies like Uber and Lyft to and the food ones as well, you know, Grubhub, to circumvent the law, which makes it so that if you're working a certain amount of hours, that you should be an employee classified as that and get employee benefits. Now, you know, I think I've been seeing a little bit of why people think differently on this issue. A lot of people think that generally, you know, people work for Lyft and Uber because they want that flexibility in scheduling. Sadly, we also live in a gig economy, and they might have other jobs where they can only work part-time because other places, let's say Target or Safeway, they don't want full-time employees either because then they have to give them benefits. So we work in an economy where, you know, most employers, they only want you part-time because then they don't have to give you any benefits. And that's true of, you know, Lyft and Uber, but I'm glad that at least there was a package of some benefits they'll be giving, and I think it was a little bit of a negotiation. But you know, we'll see what goes down after this, and how and what drivers really think, and yeah, there's more to be said. So if you have any comments on that proposition, please call in too.
Have you ever? Well, I don't want to talk about your experiences, but we're gonna get into the Yahoo. We're gonna get into the Yahoo rundown right now. So this is where we basically go on Yahoo and basically talk about what's going on in the news. Now, as you can see, we got Joe Biden with 264 votes right now. Donald Trump, 214 electoral votes. So basically, we are waiting on, let's see, we are waiting on Nevada right now to be called. And once they announce that fucking Nevada is for Joe Biden, that's basically he's going to win. But as you know, Trump is not going to have that. So let's just see what comes with that. So let's see what strange topics can we find?
So Jared Kushner reportedly threw together Trump's legal team at the last minute. That's not very surprising to me.
That's boring. I don't want to talk about that. Kris Jenner says, watch a hologram of late husband. Don't really care about that. What if Trump won't go? Legal scholar. He will go. The fucking Secret Service would throw his ass out as soon as Joe Biden is elected president. So let's stop thinking about that bullshit. Amanda Knox. Do you know who Amanda Knox is?
Amanda Knox.
Do you know who she is?
Amanda Knox. Yes, I remember the name. I'm forgetting exactly.
Well, anyway, this is a white bitch who said she killed somebody.
Oh.
She killed her. I think she killed her husband or something.
No. Amanda Knox killed her roommate.
Yeah, she killed a roommate in Italy after getting fucked by some Italian dude. And they brought her back from the U.S. But anyway, the only reason I think Amanda Knox is probably because she was an attractive white girl. And people have a fascination on that. So let's see what the headline is. Amanda Knox says whatever happens with the election can't be as bad as the 4-year study abroad I did in Italy.
Where basically, that thing happened where, the rape and the murder of her friend who was also, I think she was dating the guy, and then she went to prison for it. And then people say that she's innocent, but the family says that she's not. The family of the victim say that she's not innocent. So, I mean, we don't really know. I read the story. I think that she probably knew what he was capable of, and I think she probably acted recklessly. I don't think she had the intent to murder her roommate. But that's old news. So, interesting.
What's the craziest thing you did for penis?
For
penis.
For penis?
Yeah, dick. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
For penis?
Amanda Knox killed somebody for some dick. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Oh, man. Well, that's personal. What's the craziest thing I've ever done for a man? Probably stayed with an asshole. So that's the craziest. And with him through all the bull crap he did. I mean, I could have been sort of an accomplice in what he was doing. He would do bad things all the time, It was just, delinquent. So, but yeah, I mean, the crazy things that people will do for infatuation or love or what they think is love at the time, I mean, it'll go far, And it's also about trust. People will gain your trust, and you lose sight of your own instinct, and you trust them over your own instinct that's telling you there's tons of red flags here. Don't let this person into your life or even your home, because it turns out that those people can be, sociopaths or murderers, as did happen with Amanda Knox. So, what's the craziest thing you did for vagina?
All right. Anyways, so let's go back to the stories. Let's go back to Amanda. Let's say, okay, blah blah. Amanda Knox. David Beckham's son, Brooklyn, is the latest. We don't give a fuck about that.
Go down.
Wait on. I'm trying to fix this shit.
What I'm interested in, which you actually, you were telling me about how you, and other people were saying this too, and I was kind of unaware. You think that there'll be like a race war going on if, like, well, that there will be since Biden's winning. That, like, all the white supremacists in the country are going to be super angry, and that they're going to do what? Like, come up in arms? Like,
well, this is the Yahoo rundown, so we're specifically talking about
okay. Sorry.
Okay, so let's run down these articles. Kavanaugh gets. We don't care about that. New York elects first South Asian. Who gives a fuck?
Teacher writes boy note, has no idea who dad is.
What is this about?
That's.
Teacher writes note on boy's homework. Has no idea who dad is. What the fuck?
That headline is just weird. Things are written so, like, just awkwardly recently.
So a crush boy walked with his head bowed toward his house from school. He didn't want his parents to hear, but their parents didn't. Boy crying. The child reluctantly got a piece of paper out of his school bag. He handed it to the parents. And behold, the answers they were looking for. Alright, fuck this little boy. How the fuck you get that? I don't really care about this kid.
Click right there. Yeah, I don't. Something weird. Seems like a weird article. You have to click to continue. I don't know what that story's about.
Teacher Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick don't care. Nikki Bella says she's been dreaming of her exes because she's horny. Living with a cracked cell phone screen. Khloe Kardashian sells mansion. Must be good to have money.
The Burning Man. Remember that was headlining like last week, right? Like a man burned himself alive up north.
Burning Man?
No, a man burned himself alive.
Good.
Good.
That's what happens when you're on like them drugs.
Well, my heart goes out to that person's family, and I don't know what happened there exactly, but.
Giants player, Bush Bank. No, Cardi B, don't really give a fuck. Black men, switches from Democrats to Trump in record numbers. Let's talk about this, I guess.
That's interesting. Black men drifted from Democrats toward Trump in record numbers, polls show.
Can you read out loud to the people?
Yes. So, support for the Democratic presidential candidate reached a new low among black men this year, according to the NBC News poll of early and election day voters. 80% of black men supported Joe Biden, down slightly from Hillary Clinton's 82% in 2016, but significantly down from Barack Obama's level of support among black men in 2012 and 2008. In Obama's first presidential campaign, 95% of black male voters and 96% of black women chose him. 4 years later, support from black women remained at 96% for Obama's 2012 reelection, while the figure for black men slid to 87%. In 2016, when the nominee was Hillary Clinton, black men dropped further to 82%, while black women supported, I think, not at 91%. Support for Democratic presidential candidate in general appears to be slipping among black women as well, but to a much smaller degree. Biden still enjoyed the support of more than 9 out of every 10 black female voters. That's very good. Go down a little bit more.
All right, well, enough of that.
Enough of that one. Yeah, that one's weird. What do you think of that, Jordan?
I mean, there's a lot of black people who don't realize. I mean, it's just basically that black people are all not the same, just like all white people are the same.
True.
Just like all Mexicans. This year, believe it or not, more Latinos voted for Trump now in 2020 than they did in 2016. There's a shit ton of Latinos who voted for Trump this go round, which is crazy. And a shit ton, there's more white women voted for Trump.
What?
I think, it's more.
Why?
You're a white girl. How do you tell us?
Why the hell would they do that? I don't know. That's just so. I don't understand it. I mean, I think, you know what? I think he's really good at polarizing people. And what he does is he wants to divide people. So he says, I'll get this group of people, I'll get that group of people. So, I've actually talked to different people of different ethnicities who've told me, they're like, well, I want, the Asian players economically out of the game, or I want, Latinx players to be out of the game, or and I'm hearing this from, I've heard this from, a black man, from, a Hispanic man, so I think it's really just divide and conquer. And that's, what President Trump tries to do. He tries to divide and conquer. Thank God it's not working, but it's a very, the divide and conquer kind of mentality is how racism has been perpetuated for centuries. So, I mean, damn, he's using the same tactic and it's working today. That's the way I feel about it, but I'm not a person of color. I'm a white woman, so I don't know, but it's the only way I can see it is that kind of divide and conquer mentality. What about you, Jordan?
What about me? What was the question? I'm sorry.
The question is, why do you think that? Well, no, you were explaining it. You said because not everyone's the same. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you have some people who don't want to be down with uplifting their own people.
True.
And then you have some people who are just about the money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so true. So true. No, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that they're going to be voting for Joe Biden, but they're scared about the cost. because they're thinking that their taxes are going to be going up. That they're hoping that Joe Biden's policies will help, minorities, but generally, he's going to be raising taxes, and that's going to be for everybody, and it's not just going to be for the rich. It's going to be for the working class, and the working class get taxed really hard right now, I believe. Like, you see your paycheck, and it's like when I was working in retail, I would see my paycheck could be like $1,000 or $1,500 for 2 weeks, and then all this money's taken out, and I'm left with like 800. That's a lot of taxes to be taken out when you're not even making really ends meet, right? So I think that's where people felt like Donald Trump might help them, but really Donald Trump has been helping the rich get tax breaks. He hasn't been helping anyone else get tax breaks.
So, do you have any other information on these props?
Yes, I do. There's another proposition. So I'm going to go through California propositions because, this is Alameda County. And also we're going over San Francisco. So let's just go over California. Proposition 14 authorizes bonds continuing stem cell research. I personally voted in favor of this one. I found this one to be like a very exciting one because I think stem cell research is the future. I'm really glad we have something that's in favor of science, and not just a matter of principle. Stem cell research can, it can improve people's lives drastically in ways that we can't even begin to imagine. I mean, from the brain, like what it could do for the brain, like if people have memory loss, if it depends where they put the research into for stem cell research, but if it goes into neurology, it could be helping with brain function, for example. But if it goes towards, let's say, even just burn victims, it's almost like a way, it's a way past plastic surgery. You're able to regrow, those cells. It's regrowing, whether it's skin cells, or any other kind of tissue or cell in your body. So I think that's, we've been behind in science in the United States for a long time now. We've been giving a lot of money to our military, and to corporations, and we have not been doing enough science unless if it's, corporately funded. So I'm really proud that we're going to be having, something scientific, on the ballot, and that it, something that's a little bit neutral and scientific. I applaud that. Want to see, I'm just going to check right now. Prop 14, I think it passed, but I actually might be wrong. That'll be embarrassing, but you know what? I'll have to live with it. Oh, and it looks like Prop 14, it's still going, but 72% reporting a yes. So it looks like we are going to have Proposition 14, and that there will be stem cell research, which is also very good for search on basically the elderly populations, and people who are getting older, and finding ways to just cure so many different illnesses. So that's an exciting one. There's another proposition 16. Do you know about this proposition, Jordan?
I do not.
Okay, so this proposition, it did not pass. There's a lot of outrage over that. Proposition 16 basically allows diversity as a factor in public employment, education, and contracting decisions. It's a legislative constitutional amendment. In 1996, there was an amendment to our California Constitution saying that you cannot You cannot hire based on race, sex, gender, all of the key, elements of where you can discriminate against. And I believe this was actually, it was against affirmative action, but in some ways, a lot of people could see it as a rollback on equality for all. And I am for affirmative action. I don't, I think that equal opportunity doesn't make sense when we've had the kind of history that we've had. But I think that it could be dangerous to roll back on a policy that, might, maybe I haven't done enough research on it too, but, if it's, rolling back safety measures that everyone gets a fair share and a shot at a job, yeah, that can be kind of scary. But I think this one was definitely for affirmative action, and it's to diversify workforces, and I am in favor of that. So, there's that proposition. I mean, I could just go down this entire ballot right now, but do it? Oh my God. Well, let's see. I'm going to try to just go over the ones that seem... Oh, actually, there's some really interesting ones here. So, Proposition 17, I really hope that one passed. I think a lot of you also hope that one passed. Proposition 17 restores the right to vote after completion of a prison term. Now, a lot of people who have been to prison are, it's on the permanent...
Did it pass?
Let me look. Yes, it passed. So that passed. That is a big milestone because, that is just dehumanizing, I believe. Okay, great. So that passed. That means that if you went to prison and you get out, you, as an American citizen, you have the same right as everyone else to be able to vote. And I think that was long overdue. There's another one on here that's very similar to that in some ways, just that it's about the criminal system. Let me get to it. Okay, and that was... Okay, referendum on law that replaced money bail with system based on public safety and flight risk. Now...
Did it pass?
Let's look. Let's see if Prop 25 passed. I'm really hoping it did. But you know what? This one is a little bit harder for some people to understand. No, it didn't pass. Didn't pass. It basically it would have allowed it basically would have allowed people to, instead of having to pay bail, and for rich people who have done bad things to pay bail to get out, it would be based on flight risk and what your offense was. So basically, it would be making it less of a monetized system, because right now the rich can commit murder and get out and not have to spend time in jail while their trial goes on, because you're proven you're innocent until proven guilty. But if you're poor, you don't have those options. So that wasn't passed, and I think that's because a lot of people were scared that you would have murderers out on the street, which doesn't make sense because it was based on public safety and flight risk. Okay. The dialysis one. There's a whole bunch over here that I didn't go over.
Well, in case you guys didn't know, basically every psychedelic in Oregon is legal now. So
I saw that one.
You can sniff some coke, some acid, and if you get caught, you're not going to go to jail for it,
Coke isn't a psychedelic.
Well, whatever.
That's a narcotic.
Well, I know weed is legal now in Oregon, and why don't you Google
LSD.
that? Why don't you Google-
That would be all psychedelics would be LSD, mushrooms,
yeah, all that is legal.
morning glory seeds,
They
ayahuasca.
They decriminalized all of that in Oregon.
Yeah, and that's actually I think that has a lot to do with probably tribal work in that region because basically there was a law or no the court decided against a tribe in that region saying that they could not use ayahuasca in their ceremonies even though it was something they used in their religious ceremonies. So this is a big, a lot of people are seeing this as a big step towards, liberation for mental alternatives in medicine for the mentally ill. But this is also, a really large accomplishment and just a great thing to celebrate for tribal communities all over the United States. I mean, this was their land first, and now they have the law.
So you're saying it's a good thing?
This is a good thing. I mean, this is. I think it's a good thing.
Shout out to our studio audience.
Woo!
The virtual studio audience.
Yes. Okay, so this one's very interesting to me. I wonder what you think about this one. There's been a few on the ballot that were basically, they're measures to allow 16-year-olds to be eligible to vote. Do you think that's a good idea?
Hell yeah.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Why it's a good idea? Because
why?
The 16-year-olds would vote for. The 16-year-olds will vote for the person. If 16-year-olds are allowed to vote, then that means the people who are running for office have to be with the shit. So basically, you have to, if you're running for president, you have to be able to relate to the modern times of what's going on.
But isn't
right
that
now.
what President Trump did? I mean, he was
Nope.
on. No, he was on. He did what
What's
the
16
apprenticeship. He did the apprenticeship, and there's a lot of people who thought that was funny and they liked reality television.
No, they didn't. No. What 16-year-old watched it?
There was a
First
lot
of all,
of young
the
people.
apprenticeship was going on when you were a child. You're fucking, how old are you? You're like in your late 20s.
Okay, maybe that's true.
So we're talking about 16-year-olds like now. Like 16-year-olds now, in order to get their vote, you have to be up with the times. You can't be against gay marriage. You can't be a racist.
But you're thinking only of liberal 16-year-olds. What about the kinds of kids, that go and shoot up entire schools?
Well, the good thing about those kids, they can easily be brought back to the light. Just like fucking Darth Vader was brought back to fucking, he was in the dark side, now he was in the light.
Brought back to the light how?
If you have a 16-year-old in rural like Kansas who hates black people, all it takes is for that 16-year-old to be around other black people. Like, oh yeah, these black people are cool.
So yeah, but how does that happen when they're like in the middle of nowhere?
You bring black people to them. Make them have black friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen, and that's like desegregation and less, gerrymandering, which has been going on. Or gerrymandering.
What?
Is it gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering or gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering. You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
You fuck with like
so gerrymandering. So it's when you fuck with with the lines, the county lines, to make sure that certain people can only get into certain public schools, or even for like votes and for voting systems. And it's also a way to suppress people into.
What does that got to do with the 16-year-old?
Well, I'm saying that it goes to one of these that was on here about what was it? Like exactly, well, because being able to be exposed to other people, you have to, I mean, you have to have that ability. And I think there was an amendment on here that was talking about something like that. And now I'm forgetting which one it was. But yeah, now I'm totally forgetting which one it was that would allow that to happen. Well, I guess my general point and all of that was that in order for that to happen, you have to have, you know, make sure that like state lines and things aren't created arbitrarily, and that people have access to schools and people have access to the same places, you know, and that we have, you know, like BART and, you know, everything, you know, lined up so people can travel, because people get stuck in towns. I mean, I went to you know, just like in California, just like up Sacramento River, totally different vibe there. Like a lot of Trump supporters. And I think it's because they're not connected with an urban center and they don't see the same, you know, they're not around different kinds of people, that they get into that mindset. Like we've been saying forever, you know, people have been saying forever, like we live in echo chambers. And even Facebook, they only show you what you are interested in. So if you go towards, you're leaning towards a certain kind of way of thinking or ideology, then basically that's what Facebook shows you. That's what YouTube shows you. So we need a different algorithm where young kids are exposed to different things. But until that happens, do I trust, you know, young people who are easily influenced to vote? I don't know. I trust liberal ones. I don't know if I trust
So you don't
conservative ones.
You don't think there's more 16-year-olds that are like the 16-year-olds you'll see in San Francisco? First of all, the young generation, these 16-year-olds are going to be the ones who are going to push out the fucking these old fucking people who are in Congress right now, like fucking Lindsey Graham. I'm still pissed about him winning, and fucking what's the old motherfucker in Kentucky that's been there for like
oh god,
damn near
I know.
decades.
No, it's true. It's true.
These young people are going to push them out because times are changing. The suburbs are not just white anymore. The suburbs have a shit ton of black and Mexican.
That's what I was about to say. They're trying. Okay, that's the ballot measure I'm talking about, and that's a ballot measure which says that they can build housing, like the government can take control of housing and they can build it anywhere they want to build it. So basically, neighborhoods don't get notice and they can't go, oh no, we don't want to have, you know, affordable housing built in our suburbs. They, you know, the city decides on that. And that was on the ballot. And I think that was a crucial thing to have on the ballot. So I don't know if that was for just San Francisco or for all of California. I'm not finding it here, but that was a really crucial one, because yeah, you're right. Like if people meet each other and they get to see, oh hey, like, you know, I have friends who are different, and you know, I have friends who have not just different opinions, but you know, are ethnically different and have different traditions and everything else, you know, then yeah, you open up your mind a little bit and you understand things better, and you understand that, you know, you don't want these like conservative policies where they're not just conservative monetarily, but conservative in their value system, which is really just, you know, white supremacy. and it's just a racist system. But yeah, there was something on the ballot that was talking about, and I can't believe it. Wish I just remembered exactly which one it was, but it was. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, also, there's something where there's going to be sheriff's oversight over the sheriff's department, and I'm hoping that one got passed. Let's look and see if that one got passed. I think this might have been just for San Francisco or for maybe also Alameda. I'm not entirely sure. The sheriff ballot.
Also, if you want to, if anyone out there who has a product that they want to, we're looking for sponsors too on this weekly news show. We're live every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, bringing you the news. And if you want to sponsor, holla at us.
It looks law enforcement reform. It looks. Yes, it won. Prop D won. This is a great thing. I have seen the same thing. I worked for a judge, the Honorable Judge Decrion, and she, she had to look over all of the police misconduct, and I would look over all of these Pitchess and Brady motions, and I can't say too much details because it's confidential. But the things I saw were very disturbing, and these would be citizen complaints. Now, there's a citizens, citizens overlook the police department. There's a citizen overwatch team that oversees the police department and makes sure that there's not, wrongdoings, and they get complaints from citizens. So this sheriff department off of this oversight department that would be overseeing the sheriff's actions would do the same thing, and hopefully would be getting complaints from citizens who have been harassed in some sort of way or have seen something, done wrong to them, and they'll be able to bring it up to the board, that oversees the sheriff, and repercussions will happen. There will be repercussions, given out to sheriffs who are acting badly, and to police officers, under their watch. And
So, what do you think was the most important ballot for California?
for California, I think these ones again are just city and county propositions, so I'm going to stop there. But the propositions that were not city and county, the numbered ones, I think out of all of those ones, the most important were.
Wait, before you say that, let's check in. Let's check in on the presidential race. Let's check on to see what the fuck Biden was going on with Biden. Yeah. What's going on with Biden?
Oh, I
So let's see. Biden is still at 264. Donald Trump 214. The whole country is waiting on Nevada, basically. And as you can see, the votes right here. Everyone is waiting on to see what the fuck is Nevada's gonna do. Because soon as Biden wins Nevada, he is gonna be the next president of the United States. But let's get another round of applause for Biden. So yeah, that's Biden. All right.
Okay, so I will say the most important ones. There was 3. This mic or this mic? Okay, there was 3 different measures, California measures that were put on the ballot that were for prison reform. 2 of them passed and 1 of them did not. The one I was referencing, Prop 25, that would the referendum on law that replaced money bail with system based on public safety and flight risk, that did not get passed, and I'm sad about that. But I am happy to say that we have gotten some prison reform. We got the offenders, people who have been in prison now have the right to vote once they are out. And I need to look up Prop 20 because that was another one. Prop 20. No, Prop 20 outcome. There we go. Sorry that's taking so long. Oh, and wait. Prop 20 restricts parole for certain offenses currently considered to be nonviolent, authorizes felony sentences for certain offenses currently treated only as misdemeanors.
Did it pass?
No, it did not pass. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing?
I think that's a good thing. The other. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. This is a really bad thing. And it slashes mental health options for people who are in the prison system, especially when they're children. So, boo, that it didn't get passed. Wait, no. No, it's a good thing. Because a no on this... My mind just got flipped around. Okay, no. This is a good thing because a yes would have meant that there would have been, they would... misdemeanors would be considered felonies. There'd be lack of parole, and there'd be less mental health options for people who are already in the prison and need mental health rather than to be in prison. So it's good that that was a no. Okay. Some of these were very hard to read, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out there. That some of these were a little. That one wasn't poorly written. I was just having a brain fart. But some of these were really poorly written. I will say, like they didn't say where the money would go to and what the percentages were, and yeah, like that's what I've got to say about this year's election and our ballot system.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the first episode of Everyday Celebrity Media News Live. Please check us out every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We're going to be live on Facebook. Tell your friends about us. Tell your parents about us. And remember, this is an interactive news show, so you can call in and voice your opinions on any subject. And if you want to be an ECM News Live reporter, go on everydaycelebritymedia.com, shoot me a message so we can talk and you can become a reporter because I need eyes. I need eyes everywhere in the Bay Area.
Definitely. Also, please remember that you can comment. We love live comments and we will respond to you. They really help us out. This is so exciting that this was our first live news show with Everyday Celebrity Media. And we will be doing this every Wednesday. Please come back and visit us and, tell us your opinions.
Yes. And also, you can follow me on Jordan Owandi on Instagram, or you can follow Everyday Celebrity Media, CO on Instagram, Everyday Celebrity PO on Twitter. You want to tell your...
Yes, you can follow me at Zola, ZOLA, Yelm, HJELM on Instagram. Same name, Zola Yelm on Facebook. And I think those are the only social media accounts I have. Oh,
Yes.
and LinkedIn.
And
LinkedIn.
All right, so anyway, and if you love this shirt, go on everydaycelebritymedia.com and purchase it. Support.
Definitely support.
So thanks once again from Jordan Owandi and Zola and Ron Freed, our sports reporter. We also need a reporter for the weather.
We'll get one.
Yeah, basically all you got to do is say, nigga, it's going to be hot tomorrow and it's going to be cold the next day. Simple.
Just submit.
Yeah, just submit. everydaycelebritymedia.com. And thank you, and we are out. Good night, everybody.